Ms. McCollum.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I think the discussion about the number of ships is interesting, but as General Milley said, we don't go to war alone. So if we include Australia, Canada, NATO, you know, all the great powers that we work with, we would have a multiplying effect that neither China or Russia has. Would that be a fair statement, Secretary Austin or General Milley?
That is, in fact, correct, Ranking Member McCollum. We will always fight with our allies and partners, and again, the capability that they bring to the table magnifies our overall capability. So you could expect that in any instance, we would be able to draw upon some of their capability as well. So we work on a routine basis to make sure that we're interoperable and make sure that.
Thank you. Thank you. I would like you to go into more importance on the recent, on February 2nd, the agreement that you signed with the Philippines, whichever one of you gentlemen want to answer that. President Marcos seems to have made some deliberate decisions to align more closely with the United States interest away from China. Could you kind of tell the committee more about this agreement with the Philippines and how you see it enhancing our efforts in the region? Because I think this goes back to the whole question of the multiplying effect of having resources that China and Russia do not have. And if there's any other nations in Indo-Pac that you see wanting to align more closely with the United States, with China, as these new relationships that you've been working so hard, along with state, to foster.
Well, I was, as a matter of fact, out in the Philippines and engaged the president on this particular issue, and I was really pleased that the president made the decision to move forward and increase the number of sites where we could work along with the Philippine forces to increase interoperability and develop their skills as well. And it's actually a benefit to them, as you know. So this really is a significant significant movement forward. I think we'll continue to build upon this as our airmen and soldiers and sailors rotate in and out and work with the Philippine military. So if you take a look around the region, I mentioned AUKUS earlier. This is a generational capability. You know, as we develop a conventionally armed, nuclear-powered submarine capability for Australia, it will help us make sure that we can do the right things to continue to deter any adversary that would want to threaten or challenge the free and open Indo-Pacific. So if you look at Japan, as I mentioned earlier, Japan has doubled its defense spending. It's allowed us to position a new element in Japan and in Okinawa. If you look at you know, a number of the countries that we have partnerships with or alliances with, we continue to work to build and strengthen those alliances and partnerships. And so we've moved the ball in a significant distance down the field here in the last couple of years. And I really feel good about what we're doing to increase access and to strengthen partnerships.
Thank you, gentlemen.
If I could just make a quick comment on that.
Mr. Chair, if that's allowed.
General.
Thank you for the courtesy.
Just 2 points. One is you're correct on the allies and partners, Australia, Japan, but there's many other countries there as well, to include European countries. We've done exercises with the Brits and the French, also in the Asia-Pacific region. So they are force multipliers. Secondly is our subforce, which is rarely talked about. I'm not going to talk about it in detail right now, but our subforce is submarine force, incredibly capable and very deadly. and extremely lethal. So those two pieces, I think, would make a huge difference and help deter any kind of aggression by China. The last thing is the Philippines, but the Philippines and other countries in that region, they sit astride the key sea lines of communication that China relies on for their international access to the Middle East oil, et cetera, et cetera. So those allies and partners of ours are fundamental, and us being able to conduct military operations or having access, basing, and overflight to those countries in time of conflict or crisis would be fundamental, and it would give us a decisive advantage.
Thank you, and hopefully we can speed up the acquisition of those Virginia-class submarines.